the storm with your heart. Play the storm with your heart.
And one time,
Very conflicted on this one.
Yeah, let's go to the Lions versus the Buccaneers. Now, I can see the future, Brian, because I told you what was gonna happen. I said that at the end, the pass rush is gonna be coming for Baker Mayfield, and when that happens, he gonna throw a pick. And guess what happened? Baker Mayfield threw a pick, and it cost them the game. And
Yep.
was that like the first play of of their last drive, or was it the second? Regardless, it was early too. It
Yeah,
wasn't like
early.
it wasn't like they were converting down the field and all of a sudden he threw a pick. Like it was the last drive, first or second play, and he threw a pick. I'm like, you can't make this up. I said it, I called it, and it is what it is. So here's the thing. First of all, the game was relatively entertaining for the most part. I thought that the Lions, their pass rush, specifically Aiden Hutchinson, was just dominant. They were getting after that offensive line for the Buccaneers. Baker was getting sacked consistently. It was crazy to see. But ultimately, the back end for the Buccaneers, as we all no, for the Lions, excuse me. Well, the Buccaneers too, but the Lions specifically, they were getting absolutely diced up. Baker Mayfield, he was finally able to get it going with Mike Evans, and yeah, man, they stayed in the game despite Baker Mayfield throwing that one interception, and it was a close contest to the very end. Um, Rashad White, he came through a little bit. I already mentioned Mike Evans. And Baker Mayfield, surprisingly, he actually had a pretty solid game despite the two turnovers. The defense was okay at times. They did enough where they could have won the game, but Baker Mayfield, he's limited. He's uh he's not the most talented QB out there, so ultimately they lost the game, and that was that. The Lions, on the other hand, Jared Goff, he was throwing dimes out there. Like I was very impressed by some of the throws that he made. I think it was one touchdown. I forgot who the receiver was, where it was like a tight window throw type of touchdown. It was
Was
very
it Josh
impressive.
Reynolds?
It may have been Josh Reynolds, but it was very impressive. And I have to say, Jared Goff, listen, when you give Jared Goff time, he's one of the more accurate QBs in the NFL. And that's what happened. He had enough time with one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. Jameer Gibbs, he had a nice few runs as well. This dude, he's tremendous. David Montgomery, I think he may have had a rushing touchdown. They were really good. They did, however, at the very end, they almost lost. They almost lost, but they did enough to win, and they're in the NFC Championship now. And all you could do is just congratulate them. Really, I knew this was going to happen. I thought it would be against the Cowboys, but we're still at the final destination. It's Lions versus the 49ers, and that's that. What's your reaction to the game, real quick?
Um, I was wrong. I thought Buccaneers was going to take this one. I truly didn't believe it in my heart, though, so I don't know why I said it. But yeah, I thought the game was going to be. The game was close. The game was pretty close. The Buccaneers really started to get it going, and yeah, but the Lions' offense was just way too much for them. Amon St. Brown was killing them. Jameer Gibbs was destroying them. Even
Mm-hmm.
Sam Laporta with his knee brace got in the mix. And Jared Goff did have a pretty good performance.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good performance. And Aaron Glenn tried to sell the game. He honestly
Mm-hmm.
did, especially before the half.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, the Lions are tough, man. They persevere, man. That's like they said. One of their slogans is grit or something like that. So,
Yep.
and that's how they play. They embody the grit. Stuff be looking down for them, and they somehow find a way. So hey, that's what's up. But they got a tough matchup next week. The 49ers, they
Yes,
ain't
they
no
do.
slouch. They haven't been to the Super Bowl in 2019. There's some dudes that on that team that was there, and
Mm-hmm.
I know they're trying to get back. But yeah, as far as that game goes, it's just salute to the Lions, man. First time in the playoffs. as the division winner since '91, I believe.
Yep, 91.
And then in the NFC Championship, I wish a certain NFC team would be inspired by this or try to get off their behind and do something. But
Mm-hmm.
that's whatever. That team is unserious. We're not even gonna mention their name on this platform. But yeah, so I mean, it's ain't really much to say. They just handle business.
Yep,
I don't really
pretty.
got no in-depth analysis on how this happened and this happened. I'm not Dan Orlovsky or none of them film breakdown dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
Jared Goff had a 103.5 quarterback rating, which is pretty great in the
Yeah,
playoffs, and was he had 287 for 2 touchdowns, only sacked twice. Yeah, man, he had a solid game. He really did. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 attempts for 74 yards and a touchdown, 40 receiving yards.
Jameer Gibbs, you are on the fantasy big board for
Yes, he
next
is.
season.
Yes, he is. All right. Well, I'll be right back.
Look, cold world, still a cold world. And a couple of y'all is cool, but we a little more thorough. Whole time, a little more girls. You know I spit that sick shit and it's still no cure. Hola, loud packs,